Hello and welcome to How to Film Weddings. My name is Nick Miller, and I'm excited to dig into a podcast episode with you this week. I haven't done a solo podcast in a while, and I'm excited to jump in here and do this. Happy Monday as I am recording. Here in the Midwest, we are getting ready to be pelted with a bunch of snow. It's not even 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and schools are already being canceled for tomorrow around here. Crazy day. We're hunkering down. We're staying warm, going to the grocery store, buying all the milk and the bread because apparently that's what people buy whenever it snows a lot. But no, I'm kidding about that one. But I'm really excited to jump into today's podcast. And I watched this movie the other day called Here. It has Tom Hanks and Robin Wright in it. And it really inspired me. It struck a chord with me. And I wanted to talk about that movie, but then some thoughts that I had from it that I want to share with you. But before I do that, I want to talk to you about our friends over at VidFlow. If you don't know, VidFlow is a premier online digital gallery service. What you can do is you can take all of your finished wedding films, your doc edits, all that stuff, and upload it to VidFlow, and then you can share a link to your couples, and it's like an online DVD style platform. It looks really nice. It looks really sleek, and it's something that continues that really good experience that your customers have had with you all along the way. And I really want you to go check out what VidFlow has to offer. It is a pay-per-project service. So that means you're not locked into an online subscription. You can pay one fee per gallery, upload that, and then your clients will have access to that for years. If you'd like more information about VidFlow and all that they have to offer, head over to howtofilmweddings.com/VidFlow. All right, now jumping into today's episode, and kind of the idea that I'm running with is, how do you move forward when you feel stuck? And like I said, I watched this movie Here with my wife a few weeks ago. It's on Netflix currently right now, at least in the US. And it has Tom Hanks and Robin Wright. They were rejoined with Robert Zemeckis. Those three worked on Forrest Gump together. And if you haven't seen previews for the movie or anything about it, the idea is that there is one camera angle throughout the entire movie. And it's kind of set in this house, and it goes through years and decades and different people living in, a house in Pennsylvania that was built in the 1700s or so, something like that. And just how, their lives were affected and what happened in their lives while the camera does not move. And it's a really smart idea. It's a really intelligent idea. And as I was watching it, I was kind of like, what's the point of this movie? I thought it was fine. I didn't think it was the best movie ever made, but I was like, what is the point of this? And then we get to the crux of the matter. And basically what happens with this movie is that as teenagers, Tom Hanks and Robin Wright get pregnant. They end up getting married, and they just move into their parents' house, and that house becomes their house, and they have their child. And all throughout the movie, there's this theme of, we're kind of stuck in the situation that we are in, and we can't move because it costs too much, and we can't do this because it costs too much. We don't have any other options. We are just stuck right here. Okay. And it really struck me because I think as a business owner, as a person, and I've been open about this on the podcast for the last few months, right? It's like I felt very stuck, and I felt that this was a really good maybe representation about where I have been in my business, maybe where some of you are in your business. And so I want to talk about some thoughts I had about this movie. Well, I just talked about the thoughts I had about the movie. That's really, I'm going to get to it. But what can we do to get to there whenever we feel like we're stuck right here? And I think whenever we get stuck in a place, that can lead to ruts. How many of you just continue to do the same thing over and over again because it's familiar, it's easy to continue to just do the same things over and over again. And I think that whenever you're stuck in a rut, it can really lead to stagnation. because you're not progressing. You're just going through the motions. You're just doing the same things over and over and over again. It can lead to fear to trying new things because you know that this works somewhat. So if I deviate from that, if I do something different, if I do something that will change up my schedule or change up my life, maybe that is gonna fail. And I don't like that. And it's fear. And then it can lead to, when you're in a rut, you're continuing doing the same thing over and over again. It can lead to a failed business or the death of your business, or it just means that people aren't hiring you anymore because you're just continuing to do the same thing over and over and over again. So I want to give you a few tips of things that I've been working out in my life and in my business. And I feel like if you've listened to me over the last few months, kind of where I've been in my business, Wild Oak Films, and my journey, I've been kind of in a standstill spot. And, I mentioned that I've been inspired and I'm continuing to work and continuing to move. And I feel like I'm in a good place with my business where I'm starting to get motion, where things are starting to happen. I'm getting lots of inquiries. I'm having lots of consultation calls. I'm starting to book a few weddings for this year. And I feel like I'm in a very good spot. And I was tired of being stuck here, and I decided that it was time for me to go there. All right. Time for me to go there. So whenever you first, if you're listening to this and you're like, man, I feel like I am stuck right here in this spot. What is it that you should do? How do you get to there? And the first thing is I would recommend maybe taking a step back and kind of doing inventory or taking an honest look at your business, at how you are doing things and what you are doing. And maybe taking a step is going to be, you know what? I am so overwhelmed by all of the edits that I have to do. I am so overwhelmed by, just keeping up with deadlines and all that stuff. Maybe outsourcing is the option that you need so that you can give yourself a little bit of breathing room. Or maybe you need to sit down and be very meticulous about your time and your schedule and say, I have 10 edits that I need to do, and they need to be done in 90 days. And so here is my schedule. Here is everything I'm going to work through, and this is how I'm going to do it. I think we as humans can go through a crummy or crappy work situation if there is light at the end of the tunnel. But whenever you know that you have 10 edits and you already have 20 weddings on the books, it's like, this is never going to end. So what can you do? Take a step back and take inventory of your business. Is it going to be that you need to do some outsourcing? Is it going to be that you need to outsource in a different way? Maybe it's your social media post. Maybe it's your accounting. Maybe it's a lot of different things. But what can you do to take a little bit of step back and take some time? Another thing I would recommend is, taking some me time. And what I mean by that is just processing, where is it that you want to go? Asking the question, do I want to continue to run this business? Do I want to continue to do these things? Do I want to continue to have to struggle and fight and claw and do all the stuff that small business owners do have to do? Do I want to do that? Or do I want to do something else? And be honest and have a look at yourself and in your business. And that's something that I really struggle at. I don't do a great job of self-reflection and looking inside and figuring out things that I necessarily want to do. So maybe take some you time. Another thing that you can do whenever you want to get there is to maybe do something to fill up your creative space. John and I did a podcast a few weeks ago where we talked about being creative, and I talked about my awesome ambience videos, that I'm putting out there a few a week, and just fulfilling a different creative need, a different creative itch inside of me. I've been spending my time reading books. I've been spending my time doing things that can fill up that creative space. And maybe you're just really burnt out. And so that's why I recommend outsourcing in a way to get some stuff off of your plate. Filling up that creative space with something creative, and take some time for you to just look and evaluate. And then hopefully after you take a little bit of time and can do some of that, you'll be able to sit down and say, okay, I don't want to stay here. I want to go there. There being somewhere forward in your business. And it's not always an easy thing, to come to that conclusion. Maybe you don't want to go there in your business. Maybe you really do want to go there in your business, but like I'm saying, all the outsourcing, all the backlog, all of the daily things that you need to do as a small business owner are really just holding you back. And so maybe that's why you need to take some time to figure out some of those things. Okay, so let's say you've taken that step back and now you're sitting here and you're thinking, okay, I do want to go there. I do want to go forward in my business. Where do I start? Where should I begin? And the place that I would recommend you do is go look back in your business. When did you feel like you were thriving? Did you ever feel like you were thriving? I think all of us at some degree, if we've been doing this for a while, there was some point in our business when we felt like we were thriving. Go back to there. What was it there that absolutely got you on fire, that got you so excited to continue doing this and working in your business? And maybe try something like that. For me, I shot a wedding in Cabo a few weeks ago with a great couple. It was an incredible wedding. I had a really good time. Blake, the editor, came down and shot that one with me. We had a really good time in Cabo. But as I was there, I knew that this was potentially going to be, kind of a make or break for me type of wedding. And I was like, I'm going to go all in and I'm going to do what I did whenever I thrived in my business, or I felt like that Jen and I really thrived in our business. And so the first thing that I did was I said, I am going to do some same day edits. That was something that we did constantly, like 2017 through 2020, 21, in that time frame. We did them at every single wedding. It was never something that we promised our couples, but it was something that we did and we wanted to do for them. And so I made the promise to myself, I made the vow to myself that I was going to do a same day edit, and I did it. And the couple loved it. They were so blown away. And then whenever I started posting the same day edit and some other edits that I did from the weekend, so many people were just blown away that we were able to put that together. And, it got some buzz, it got some excitement, and also it got the couple and the family and the friends that were all there really excited. It also got me excited. I thought, man, if I'm able to get back into this and continue to do this for these couples, like, they're loving it. It's incredible. So doing a same day edit was something that really helped me whenever I felt that we were thriving. And now I'm sitting here like, man, is this something with the weddings that I have coming up? Do I need to move forward with those and do those? And I'm, thinking, yeah, maybe that is the thing that I need to do. The other thing that I was doing when I felt like I was thriving is I was constantly showing up and posting on Instagram. And I have committed to doing that. And over the last, 2 or 3 weeks, as I've been back from Cabo, especially, I've been posting 3 or 4 times a week on Instagram, just interacting, letting people know that I am around and that I am still in business. Elaine from KEJ shared with us on this podcast a while ago, it's not who you know, it's who knows you. And I think one of the biggest problems that we have whenever we get in a rut and we feel like we're here and we want to go there, it's that people forget that we exist. Because oftentimes social media, connecting with other people in our markets, that's the first thing to go whenever we become overwhelmed, whenever we become too busy. And so I've just decided, I'm going to post, and I have enjoyed doing that. And just by me posting over the last few weeks, this month I have reached 75 something thousand different accounts. That's what my data tells me inside my Instagram app. And so now I know that more people are seeing what I am doing. Before we move on, I want to talk to you about our friends over at MusicBed. If you want to license and get the best music for your wedding films, I highly recommend going over to howtofilmweddings.com/musicbed. There you can do a 14-day trial, see what MusicBed has to offer, experience what they have to offer. It is an incredible platform. John and I have been exclusively using it for a decade decade plus. MusicBed is incredible. They're always releasing new music, and it is the number one place that we recommend for licensing your music for your wedding videos. So if you'd like more info and to get that free trial, head over to howtofilmweddings.com/musicbed. So as we're talking about going from here to there, I talked about what were you doing when you were thriving? Okay, the next thing that I want to do is something that I have had to do over the last few months. John has talked about doing this, and that is eating a little piece of humble pie. What do I mean by that? Well, in the 2020 to 2022 boom of things, we were able to charge a lot for our services. The supply was low and the demand was high. And so we were able to reach prices. And I know John has shared this, but I have done this over the last year and a half, 2 years as well, is, I'm throwing out $10,000 and $12,000 and $15,000 quotes. And people are just like, no, that's out of budget. Whenever I would have happily taken the wedding for $6,000 or $7,000 or $5,000, something along those lines. And so the thing that I think that you need to do to get from here to there, okay, because motion creates emotion. And whenever people start booking you, you get excited about it. You get, oh, there's a long end. I want to do this. I want to continue to do this. And sometimes the thing that you need to do is eat that humble pie, and maybe it's lowering your prices. Maybe it's offering more in your collections. Maybe it's doing something that you don't do anymore, like a same-day edit. Because whenever you become humble about what you are doing, whenever you realize, man, it's tough out there. And, I was talking to my mom about this the other day, and, just the number of bookings that we have and that kind of stuff, and how I'm sending off quotes that are lower than I have been doing in the last, 2-3 years, so that I can get some more bookings. And, I said, Mom, I would much rather, have, $4,000, $5,000 in the bank than, say, oh, I'm a $9,000 videographer and throw out those numbers, but then not get anything. Okay. I think it was Sarah from Penn Weddings that I heard a long time ago. She said, you are worth what someone is willing to pay for you right now. So in my mind, I can think I'm a $10,000 videographer, but if people aren't paying me $4,000 for my services, I am not a $10,000 videographer. Maybe I was a couple of years ago, but where I am today, I am not. And so having a real look at where you are in your business, but where the people are, where the economy is. And I'm not saying that you should, roll over and let people take advantage of you or anything like that, but maybe saying, hey, I need to book some weddings so I get some mojo, so that I get some motion going in my business. And I'm going to book a few for, 30% less or 40% less or 50% less. And you don't have to say, hey, 50% off sale or anything like that. But as you are getting inquiries, maybe you just quote them a little bit less because you know that you really need it. And whenever you start, being humble about this and saying, man, that's where I was, but where I am now, and I need to be where the people are, and I need to make money. I need to live. So there's no shame in charging less for your services so that you can live. Okay. And whenever you get a few under your belt and you start this motion going in your business, then you can start maybe creeping your prices back up if you feel like that is the best move for your business. So, we talked about doing what you're doing when you were thriving, maybe eating a little piece of humble pie when it comes to specifically your prices or what you are offering. And then the next thing that I want to talk about is whenever you are feeling stuck, you are feeling, I am right here in the corner of this room and I'm seeing everything happen and I want to go there. The biggest thing that I will say that I have been really trying to do over the last month and a half, 2 months, is to just do something. I know a couple weeks ago in the podcast, John mentioned it. We've shared it before, but the idea of imperfect action beats perfect inaction every time. And sometimes just taking some steps forward, just doing something is going to propel you forward rather than trying to make everything perfect and make everything right. A few, things that I am currently doing in my business that I'm just trying to go forward. I'm just trying to do something. One is I have put off updating my website for a long time. I think the last time that I did a big website update other than, just putting in a few different films or changing the contact form just a little bit was like 2019 or 2020. Like, it has been a while since I have done anything to my website. So over the past week and a half, I have been spending a lot of purposeful time on my website and just going in, updating the copy. I paid for a copywriter a while ago, and it's just been sitting there in a Google Doc. And so now I'm copying and pasting and I'm putting it in there. I'm redesigning my website. I am moving forward. I am doing something. And then, we will see what happens from that. But that is something that I can do right now. I talked about this earlier, but I'm committed to posting 3 or 4 times on Instagram each week. Well, showing up 3 or 4 times on Instagram each week, whether that's an actual post or a reel or just the stories or something like that. I want to show up so that people know that I exist. I'm putting myself out there. One thing that I haven't really done is, Jen and I have been primarily doing destination work since, 2020, 2021, that time frame. We've been doing destination work. And so because of all the destination stuff, I have really laxed in my local network. I thought I don't need that group because I never shoot here and I never work here. Well, now I have decided, you know what? I need to connect with that group of people. I need to be in a community with like-minded people that is in my local market. And so over the last couple of weeks, I've gotten together with a couple of different photography friends that I've had for many years, and I'm excited to continue to do that. I want to set up something and meet, once a month or so-ish, just get together, have coffee, talk, share about things in our businesses, brainstorms, get each other excited. Another thing is there's a local networking group here in Wichita, and I am gonna go to a meeting. I know I had been to one before, but I was just kind of like, I'm checking this thing out. But I want to go and purposely be there as someone that will interact and connect and share and help other people and help other businesses and just kind of see where that goes with that. And that is something that I've never really been great at with my own business, is that kind of marketing. And then, one thing that I want to do is I want to create some, hype around my business or some scarcity around my business. And so one thing that I think John has been doing a phenomenal job, at least on his Instagram account over the last, few months, is just letting people know, hey, I've been getting inquiries. Hey, I've been having these consult calls. Hey, I've been having this. Hey, I've been doing this. And it's, creating this aura around his business, where it's like, oh, people are reaching out. That's exciting. There's some scarcity. I'm starting to book up. I'm starting to fill up, and you're not lying to people. I'm not saying that I'm fully booked for this year when you have 2 on the books or anything like, I'm not saying doing anything like that, but just letting people know that people are reaching out to you, that you are having meetings, that your calendar is starting to fill up. And so that people around you, or people that see your posts will like, oh, if they're filling up, maybe it's time for me to reach out. I better reach out. I've been thinking about it, but I haven't been doing it. So maybe now is the time to do that. So I really hope that some of these things here have been helpful. So let me just kind of go over my list of how do you get from here to there specifically in your business. One, I'd say take a step back. Look, evaluate your business, evaluate your life, where you are, and figure out what you can do to figure out if you want to move forward in your business. Whether it's outsourcing, take some time for yourself, do something to fill up the creative space. Take a step back so that you can figure out if you even want to go there in your business. Okay. And if you do decide, one of the things is do what you did when you were thriving, and you're going to need to sit down and figure that out. Maybe it's time to eat a little bit of humble pie, lowering your prices, changing how you do stuff, offering something that you don't do anymore, being creative and thinking through some of that stuff when it comes to eating that humble pie. Maybe it is, I'm just going to do for the next 5 inquiries, I'm going to do 30% off my prices. I'm not going to tell them I'm doing a sale or anything like that, but maybe that's what you need to do. And then the last thing that I know will help you get from here to there is to just do something. That motion is going to create emotion, and people will follow along if they see that you are moving forward. I really hope that you were able to get a few nuggets from this episode. What I want you to do is, send me a DM over on the Instagram at How to Film Weddings, and just let me know if you thought that this episode was helpful. Want to shout out our sponsors again, VidFlow. Go to howtofilmweddings.com/VidFlow, and MusicBed, howtofilmweddings.com/MusicBed. You can find out so much more on our website about these incredible sponsors. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening, and until next time, we will see you